Destiny Payton's legal battle with her ex-husband LaBerrick Williams has taken another dramatic turn. After years of disputes following their 2021 divorce, Destiny's latest appeal has been decided, and the result is not in her favor. The Alabama Appellate Court has affirmed the lower court's ruling, meaning Destiny must still pay the $19,000 she owes LaBerrick. This case has been one that fans of Love and Marriage Huntsville have followed closely. And today, we are going to go over every detail, including the timeline of events, the legal definitions involved, and what this means for Destiny and LaBerrick going forward. To understand the full scope of what happened, we need to start at the beginning. Destiny Payton and LaBerrick Williams were married on September 7, 2019. Their marriage, however, lasted less than 2 years, and by April 12, 2021, they were divorced. The divorce left them with one child and a complicated financial situation, particularly concerning the marital home. According to the divorce decree, Destiny was given exactly 1 year to either refinance the marital home into her name or to sell it. This was a clear instruction, and the court expected compliance. However, Destiny did neither. Her failure to refinance or sell the home created significant difficulties for LaBerrick. He attempted to follow the legal process to resolve the situation, but Destiny's actions, or lack thereof, complicated matters further. As another year passed without resolution, LaBerrick filed for contempt in September of 2023. Claiming that Destiny had violated their divorce decree. He alleged that she not only failed to refinance the home or facilitate its sale, but also engaged in other actions that interfered with his legal rights. In response to the contempt action, decided to file for bankruptcy. His filing temporarily paused all of her ongoing court proceedings, giving her a temporary reprieve from the legal pressures she faced. However, this pause did not last indefinitely. In January of 2024, LaBerrick filed an affidavit for a motion to lift the stay, arguing that the contempt proceedings should continue despite her bankruptcy filing. The court granted his motion, and the contempt case resumed. By August of 2024, the court had found Destiny guilty of contempt, ordering her to pay nearly $19,000 to LaBerrick. This was a significant ruling, but Destiny did not accept it quietly. In September of 2024, she filed a motion to have the order altered, amended, or vacated. Unfortunately for her, that motion was denied. Undeterred, Destiny filed an appeal in January of 2025, hoping a higher court would overturn the lower court's decision. That brings us to the most recent development in this ongoing legal saga. On November 7, 2025, the Alabama Appellate Court released its decision regarding Destiny's appeal. The court affirmed the lower court's ruling through what is called an unpublished memorandum. This decision means that the higher court agrees with the lower court and sees no reversible error in the original judgment. Essentially, the appellate court has said that the ruling against Destiny stands, and she must pay the ordered $19,000 to LaBerrick. To better understand what this means, it is important to explain what an unpublished memorandum is in Alabama law. An unpublished memorandum is a type of court decision that is not formally published in official case reports. These decisions are often procedural in nature and do not establish legal precedent that other cases can rely on. In other words, while the court has decided Destiny's appeal, this decision will not be used as a legal guide for future cases. It resolves the matter at hand without influencing similar cases down the line. The principle of precedent, or judicial precedent, is central to the common law system. Normally, courts use past decisions to guide rulings in future cases to maintain consistency and predictability in the law. However, because Destiny's appeal was resolved via an unpublished memorandum, it does not serve as a precedent. Future cases with similar circumstances will not be able to cite her case as authority, meaning the ruling is specific to her situation and her legal circumstances alone. Another point to note is that the case is still technically listed as open in court records, despite the decision being made on November 7th. This is because parties typically have 14 days from the date of the original ruling to file a motion for rehearing. Destiny could still file such a motion within that time frame, although as of now, no indication has been made that she will do so. Neither she nor LaBerrick has commented extensively on social media regarding the outcome of the appeal, which adds to the speculation that Destiny's appeal was unsuccessful. This silence is particularly telling when compared to her previous reactions to court rulings. For instance, when a previous case of hers was dismissed, she celebrated publicly, even creating a T-shirt with her mugshot proclaiming that she had been vindicated. She wore that shirt on Love and Marriage Huntsville, showing her joy and satisfaction with the ruling. The absence of a similar celebration after this recent decision is a strong indicator that the appeal did not go in her favor. LaBerrick, on the other hand, made a brief post on his Facebook page shortly after the ruling, expressing gratitude with a simple statement: "Thank God for his covering." This post was made 5 days after November 7th, 2025, aligning with the date of the court's decision. While brief, the post suggests that he is pleased with the outcome, which is consistent with the ruling affirming his entitlement to the $19,000 from Destiny. Now, let's revisit the timeline and the series of legal steps that led to this point. Destiny and LaBerrick married in September 2019, divorced in April 2021, and the divorce decree required Destiny to act on the marital home within 1 year. Her inaction led to a contempt motion in September 2023. Destiny filed for bankruptcy to pause the proceedings temporarily, but LaBerrick's motion to lift the stay in January 2024 allowed the contempt case to resume. Destiny was found guilty of contempt in August 2024, ordered to pay nearly $19,000, and her subsequent motion to alter or vacate that order was denied in September 2024. Her appeal in January 2025 ultimately led to the recent ruling affirming the lower court's decision. The legal terminology involved in this case can be confusing, so it's important to clarify. Being found guilty of contempt in a civil case like this means that Destiny violated a court order, in this case, the divorce decree. The contempt ruling typically carries penalties designed to compel compliance, which here resulted in the $19,000 payment order. Filing for bankruptcy temporarily halts proceedings, but does not eliminate the debt or obligations if the court later decides to lift the stay. The appellate process allows a higher court to review lower court decisions for errors. But as in Destiny's case, the appellate court can choose to affirm the decision, letting the lower court's judgment stand. The outcome of this appeal has significant implications for Destiny. Financially, she is required to pay LaBerrick the $19,000, and legally, this ruling reinforces the authority of the lower court's orders. While the decision was unpublished and does not set a precedent, it is a definitive conclusion to this particular appeal, unless Destiny chooses to pursue further legal action, such as a motion for rehearing within the 14-day window. For LaBerrick, this ruling confirms his legal position and validates the actions he took to enforce the divorce decree, ultimately securing the payment he sought from Destiny. It's also worth examining the broader context of this dispute. The couple's issues have been very public, given their involvement in Love and Marriage Huntsville. Fans of the show have followed the saga closely, watching the interplay of legal battles, personal disagreements, and public reactions. The visibility of their conflict adds an extra layer of scrutiny, as each court decision not only impacts their legal obligations, but also shapes public perception of both Destiny and LaBerrick. Throughout this entire process, Destiny has shown persistence in challenging the legal rulings against her, filing motions to alter or vacate orders, and appealing to a higher court. This persistence indicates her unwillingness to accept the financial and legal responsibilities imposed by the court without contest. However, the appellate court's affirmation signals that her efforts to overturn the ruling have reached a significant roadblock, at least for now. The concept of an unpublished memorandum also highlights an important aspect of legal strategy. By issuing the decision in this format, the Alabama Appellate Court ensures that Destiny's case does not become a reference point for future cases. This prevents similar cases from relying on the specifics of Destiny's situation, maintaining a level of discretion, and limiting the broader impact of the ruling. It emphasizes that while the decision affects her directly, it does not necessarily influence legal principles applied in other contexts. As of now, the case remains technically open, pending the 14-day window for a potential motion for rehearing. This small window leaves a possibility for further legal maneuvering, but nothing has been reported to suggest that Destiny plans to pursue it. The quiet from her camp contrasts sharply with previous instances when legal victories were celebrated publicly. This lack of public reaction strengthens the conclusion that the ruling did not favor her, and that she may be preparing to accept the court's decision. LaBerrick's measured response, expressing gratitude on social media, reinforces the narrative that he achieved a favorable outcome. It also highlights a contrast in approaches between the two parties. Destiny, who has historically expressed her reactions more publicly and dramatically, and LaBerrick, whose brief acknowledgement underscores satisfaction without fanfare. This difference in public engagement adds another layer of interpretation for fans following the legal and personal drama between them. The timeline, legal definitions, and recent events paint a clear picture. Destiny Payton is legally obligated to pay LaBerrick Williams $19,000 as ordered by the court. The appellate court's decision confirms this, leaving no current legal avenue to overturn the ruling. While the decision is unpublished and does not set precedent, its immediate impact on Destiny and LaBerrick's legal and financial situation is undeniable. Looking forward, the implications for both parties are significant. Destiny must now navigate the financial responsibility imposed by the court, while also considering the legal consequences of any further non-compliance. LaBerrick, on the other hand, has successfully enforced the court's decree, reinforcing his rights under the divorce agreement. The public nature of their dispute ensures that fans and observers of Love and Marriage Huntsville will continue to watch closely, monitoring any further developments or responses from the couple. This ruling also serves as a reminder of the importance of complying with court orders and the potential consequences of failing to do so. Civil contempt rulings, appellate processes, and financial obligations can all have lasting effects on those involved, particularly when disputes involve property and monetary settlements. Destiny's case illustrates the complexity of divorce proceedings, the challenges of compliance, and the consequences of prolonged legal battles. Finally, the ongoing narrative between Destiny and LaBerrick highlights the intersection of personal relationships and legal accountability. Their story is not only about the legal outcome, but also about how public perception, personal choices, and legal processes interact. As the appeal is affirmed and Destiny is required to pay the ordered amount, this chapter in their story reaches a crucial point, leaving fans and observers to consider what the next steps might be for both parties. The case, while resolved for now, also underscores the enduring drama and public fascination surrounding love and marriage Huntsville couples. Legal battles, financial disputes, and public commentary intertwine to create a narrative that extends far beyond the courtroom. Destiny and LaBerrick's journey through the legal system, the public's reaction, and the eventual ruling of the appellate court all contribute to the ongoing conversation about accountability, justice, and the complexities of high-profile relationships. As of today, Destiny Payton's appeal has been decided. The order to pay LaBerrick Williams still stands, and the legal landscape of their dispute has been clarified by the Alabama Appellate Court. While the story may continue in minor ways, this ruling represents a definitive statement from the court about the obligations and responsibilities that Destiny must fulfill. It is a moment that solidifies LaBerrick's legal victory, underscores Destiny's continuing obligations, and provides fans of the show with another dramatic development to follow.